It's about time you showed up. I've been waiting on you for over an hour.
Lady, I'm not a taxi. Get out of my car!
r/EntitledParents. Our first story we'll be reading today. This is not a taxi. From user Ghost7579OX. After that, rude customer doesn't know what's coming for him. From user BS Remover. After that, entitled mom gets mad at me when staff asks her to move because I'm injured. From user Pocket Bear Company. And then we'll be wrapping up with Don't Touch Me, Please. Another story from user BS Remover. Thank you so much to our authors for letting us read your stories. And if you're an author who would like me to read your stories next, please submit them to the r/Mr. Reddit subreddit. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day. This is not a taxi. Hey, Mr. Reddit and Re-Army. I'm still new to Reddit and haven't worked out all the bugs yet, so go easy on me. This story was a long time ago and happened to my dad. Our cast. We've got my dad. We've got my awesome mom. We've got entitled Karen, who was awesome mom's coworker. On a typical weekday evening, awesome mom would finish work at the nursing home and dad would always be there waiting to pick her up. Dad drove an old black Audi 80 and it had been in need of a car wash and had seen its fair share of miles. Coincidentally, local taxi companies in the area had similar looking black cars around the same age and condition, with the exception of the big, bold, bright yellow sign saying taxi on the roof and large advertising plastered on the sides, which is a bit of a giveaway. Awesome Mom had been working at the nursing home for a few years, and most of the staff knew Dad and what his car looked like. Most of the other staff didn't have their own car and usually called the local taxi companies to pick them up at the same spot Dad usually parked, and honk their horns twice to announce their arrival. So Dad is parked waiting for Awesome Mom as usual when he gets a text from Awesome Mom saying that she'd be 5 minutes late and just to wait for her. 5 minutes come and go and still no Awesome Mom. Dad is a little impatient and honked the horn a couple of times. It was at this moment he knew he messed up. A few seconds later, entitled Karen walked out of the main door and right up to the passenger side door of Dad's car and got in.
About time you got here. Take me to
the place Karen's nest.
What the heck are you doing in my car? Get out. This is not a taxi.
Just shut up and drive. I've had a very long day and don't need any of your stupid BS.
Get out of my car. This is not a taxi.
I booked this taxi, so take me home now.
For the last time, this is not a taxi.
How dare you talk to me like that? I'll have your license suspended and make sure nobody else in my workplace hires your company again.
I'm here to pick up my wife, who you work with. Does the name Awesome Mom ring a bell in that empty head of yours?
She can't have this taxi. I called for it. Besides, her husband always picks her up, so stop lying and take me home.
Just a small side note. Dad is a man who has very little tolerance for BS and was shouting at this point on, but I can't make the font any bigger to show just how loud he was, bearing in mind he used to be a drill sergeant for the Royal Air Force.
I am her husband, and I'm picking her up. And for further details, I am not a taxi driver.
Entitled Karen, now having the fear of the Almighty forced into the vast empty cavern that was her brain, started looking around the car, looking at the dashboard, and then said,
"Where is your meter?"
I don't have a meter, because this is not a taxi.
This went on for a while, until Awesome Mom walked out the main door and opened the passenger door to see her coworker sat in her seat. Mom says, "Oh, hello, entitled Karen. Why are you sitting in my seat talking to my husband?" Just as she said that, a taxi pulls into the car park and honked his horn. The look on Karen's face was worth 1,000 words as she sheepishly climbed out of the car and shuffled over to the actual taxi. As Awesome Mom got into the car, she could hear Karen shouting again, this time at the actual cab driver. Why, you ask? Because the taxi wasn't hers. Thanks for reading, and feel free to put this on YouTube and edit as you wish. And yes, you can roast me for poor grammar. Next we've got Rude Customer Doesn't Know What's Coming for Him. This happened at my previous job. I used to work for a cell phone company. This particular company doesn't provide prepaid lines in store. You have to call and they will send the customer our way to pick the chip for the system to work. We have Rude Customer. We also have Entitled Dad. And we have Hero Coworker and me as OP. Please, someone tell me why in so many stories, me is OP. Oh, it stands for Original Poster, the one who started the thread. Rude Customer and Entitled Dad both should be somewhere between 37 to 58, and thinking bad language is a required trait to be defined as a man, came to the store, rejected an employee's assistance. Then the younger checked every possible phone and took pics showing the tongue, picking his nose, and making faces, which later we have to delete, while the father sat on a bench to rest. Once he finished clowning around, comes to me, which by that time I'm finishing with a customer, and as soon as I look at him, he started this rant.
My friend said this company sucks, and it has the worst service.
Me thinking, and you are here because? I respond, I'm sorry that you heard that. However, that issue happened 2 years ago. We've improved a lot since. I'm forced to say this every time because it's true and was a dent in the company's history.
Oh, really?
He scoffed and grinned.
And if I get a line of service with you, and it is as useless as I've been told, are you going to refund me?
Yes, sir, you're right. We are giving our customers the right to try our services for an entire month before deciding to stay or choose another company. After that period, if you decide to leave, we'll reimburse you for the total cost of the transaction.
Okay, I'll give it a try. But I'm not getting one of your phones with your tricky contracts. I want a prepaid service.
Oh, for that you'll have to call customer service, because the prepaid option is something we cannot provide in store. However, I can help you by checking your phone and seeing if it's compatible with our network.
So now you're going to make me feel that my phone is not good enough? This is the latest Samsung. I'm not buying another.
Me, getting annoyed but still trying to deliver the best service. No, sir. You said your phone came from X company. They operate on a different network, and...
Cut the crap, because you're getting me confused. I know this is something you like to do to convince me, and I already said I'll try. Let's start the process.
But sir, you said you wanted a prepaid service, and that's something we can't do in store.
Look, I'm getting tired of you telling me what is what, and I've lost my patience. It seems you're incapable to do a simple task. You need to do some training to be able to work with customers. Excuse me.
He said it in the same rude tone to another coworker who was going to get a phone on the back of the store while I shrugged and took the brick stance, arms crossed, not moving, not talking.
I need you to help me because him,
he points at me,
doesn't know his job.
Coworker seemed to be listening to the conversation because his face didn't look pleased. Coworker says, I'm very busy at the moment, but I'll do my best to help.
This is how you should treat a customer, see?
He said, looking at me while pointing at him.
So, I need you to open a prepaid line for me. And please do it quick, because your coworker made me lose my time.
Coworker says, actually, my coworker was right. We cannot, nor have the means to open a prepaid account. This is a call-in service option. Oh, someone was putting rude customer in his rightful place, which goes against the golden rule of the customer is always right, even when he's wrong. I thought, here comes the crap storm. Rude customer scoffs like he just heard a bad joke, then seeking support.
Dad, did you hear?
What?
They cannot open a prepaid account for me.
What kind of crap is that?
Coworker turns to entitled dad. The same kind of crap I was talking about. Rude customer, entitled dad, and me stared at coworker, wide open eyes, everyone's jaw touching the floor. But there was no way rude customer would stay defeated. He was enjoying his victory against me, and he will subdue that rebel of an employee at the spot. Rude customer said while staring daggers at coworker.
Well, but now I'm not leaving till I get what I came for. Call customer service now. I want my prepaid line now.
Coworker, without losing his cool. Then you have to call them, sir.
No, I'm saying you have to pick
Making the phone sign.
the phone and make the dang call to get my line.
Coworker says, no, you, mimicking rude customer, have to pick up your phone and call them, your dang self, if you want that service. And have a nice day. Coworker then turned his back on them and went to the task he was busy with before being interrupted. Rude customer was speechless. But once he recovered from the surprise, he started shouting at him to the tune of,
If bad is the service, worse are the employees.
and similar crap. I was holding my laugh because I never thought someone in customer service would reply that way. Later on, and free from clients, we were laughing like crazy while repeating the story for our amusement. And coworker told me, don't be afraid to lose a job if you have to put an entitled jerk like him in his place. You're here to sell phones, not put up with these people's crap. You lose a job, look for another job. Simple. Next we've got, entitled mom gets mad at me when staff asks her to move because I'm injured. Hey, Mr. Reddit. Longtime lurker from your channel and made an account just to post something. I enjoy your videos very much and ask you keep up the amazing work. Obligatory, I'm on mobile, so sorry for formatting. English is my first language, but I know sometimes I just get stuff wrong. Be kind when you point out errors, please. Now, let's get into this, shall we? So this happened over this past weekend. We went down to Orlando, Florida to celebrate my and my brother's birthday, since they're within a week of each other. It was me, my brother, my mom, and my daughter with us there for this. So Saturday was his birthday, so he chose Typhoon Lagoon as our hangout for the day. Unfortunately, while at the park, I managed to slip and slam my already recovering from a previous injury knee into the ground. So I had to sleep with an ice pack on for the last few hours. Now, the weather was supposed to stay clear, but not long after I managed to injure myself, it began to rain. So of course, I'm hobbling along, keeping track of my daughter in the crowd with my mom as we look for my brother and head for the gift shop for some cover. Turns out, a lot of other people had the same idea. At this point, I was rotating the ice pack from the cold side to the well-padded side that I couldn't feel the ice, since it was easier than carrying the wrapped bag and dealing with a toddler. Inside, there's 2 benches, just 2 small benches, so a lot of people were sitting on the floor or in displays of merch. On one of those benches is 2 children, both on phones, next to a single small backpack. My mom asked them nicely if she and I could sit there, and they politely said no, they were waiting on their parents. So we sat in amongst the towel display near them. I had difficulty due to my knee, but we managed. My brother left at some point and returned with ice cream, and while eating it is where it all starts. I'll try to write the dialogue best I can from memory, but may not be 100% correct. Cast will be me, my mom, entitled mom, and employee. Employee walks over as I'm cleaning my daughter up since she's making a mess, like toddlers do with ice cream. Ma'am, you need to move. We don't want you to make a mess of our towels. Me. Right, sorry, but I need some help to get up due to my knee. As I said this, my brother grabbed my daughter and went off somewhere else with her. Huge help since that was the main point of the issue. Employee didn't seem to understand. Ma'am, I need you to move so you don't make a mess. Yes, I know, but I need a hand. I cannot get up alone. I motion to my knee with the sleeve and ice pack. Mom says, I'll need help up as well. My back is bad and it was difficult to get down here in the first place. Employee looks around and realizes there is a bench within 3 feet of us. Looks at the family, since the parents had now joined the kids. Excuse me, can you let this lady sit, please? She needs to move. Entitled mom says,
I'm sorry?
Seeming genuinely confused. Can your family sit elsewhere? This lady had knee surgery. I never said that. And needs the bench to sit.
My family is already here. Can't you just do something else? You're Disney, for goodness sakes. Don't you have extra chairs or something for these situations?
At this point, I wasn't paying much attention as I was trying to get another employee to simply give me a hand so I could stand. Once I was standing, I realized the parents were both getting mad because they were being asked to move when I never asked that. During this, she of course demanded a manager. Miss, it's fine. I can find somewhere else. Employee says, No, we'll find you something, ma'am.
Well, we aren't moving.
I never asked you to. I just wanted help up, and I'm up now. Some more was said, but I don't recall what. Eventually, they just rolled the display I was set on a few feet over, since it was blocking some stair steps, to a dressing room, and just let me sit there. Entitled mom went on for several minutes afterwards about,
It's BS. Why should we move for her when we sat here first? They should have chairs or something for disabled people.
I just tried to finish my ice cream quietly and ignored them. After entitled mom walked away somewhere, employee returned with the requested manager and the dad told them where to find entitled mom. Sorry it's anticlimactic, but in the moment I was just really confused and hating the confrontation. This turned out way longer than I originally planned. Sorry for that. If this manages to make it into a video, please send the link. Thanks for reading this, y'all. And our final story of the day.
Don't touch me, please.
I tried to tag this as /I don't work here, but I don't know how, so please understand. Intentionally, I changed the words to ease the reading process. As I said before, I'm meh in English. This happened a few days ago. I work for U Company, in person, customer service, but when I'm out with the uniform, no one can tell where I work, so
Can I speak to your manager?
Doesn't work with me. I'll explain. Our dress code only requires us to wear the t-shirts with the logo. The color and size of the logo changes with the t-shirt, and we can choose which pants and shoes we'd like to wear. Formal, jeans, or sport, regardless of color. But I like formal attire, so that day I wore black pants and hat with the black t-shirt. The story. I finished my shift and went to a craft store to get some hoops for my mother. She loves doing embroidery and the old ones broke. Since I don't know the country, I use the GPS to guide me. Being my first time there and having no rush, I wander around the store looking at everything and sometimes rearranging items with the right price tags, because I don't understand why most of the time customers wander around the place taking things and placing them elsewhere instead of returning them to their place or giving it to an employee at the cashier. Because that's their job. Anyway, eventually I found the hoops and was looking for the different sizes and quality, closing them to check if there were gaps along the ring, and in the meantime, I received a friend's call. With more than 5 bamboo hoops hanging in my arms and facing the aisle, I start talking about my day and what I'll do once I get out. So while I'm talking, I heard an
Excuse me, sweetie.
on the background and thought someone wanted to enter the aisle, so I moved aside and kept talking, thinking for sure they will go their merry way. 10 seconds later, the same voice changed to a Karen tone and said,
Hey, sweetie. Will you please put that stupid phone aside and assist me?
Me facing her. Excuse me?
You should pay attention when customers need help before letting them waste time trying to find what they need. Now, put all that down and tell me where I can find beads to put in my daughter's dress. They're pearl color, small.
Me, still frozen by that argument. I realized she doesn't know I don't work here, and I went and made a bigger mistake, interrupting a Karen. Oh, please, 1 second. You'll have to excuse me, but
Don't you see I'm talking? How dare you interrupt a customer? You should wait till I finish to help. Now, shut your yap and move it, because I don't have all day.
usually when people tend to treat me like that, I do not move nor reply till they go away yelling at me. And so I told my friend on the phone who was listening and asking, "Don't worry, talk later." Put the phone in my pocket and stood there, hoops still in my arms. She will listen what I have to say, or she'll rot in front of me. Obviously, Karen pointed outside the aisle for me to guide her, but I crossed my arms, hoops in the same place, and boy, she didn't like that a bit.
I think I told you what to do. Are you stupid, deaf, or both?
I smirked and said, "I think both," and I pushed the wrong button.
Now listen to me and listen well, you waste of nature. It's clear that you couldn't achieve more in your life, and that's why you're working here. If you want to keep paying for that hole that you crawl out of every morning to work here and make customers look at your dumb face all day, I suggest you move, and move fast. And get me what I asked for, or I'll have your job, and any job you apply for after this. You're going to learn to lower your head before trying to upset someone who's above you. Now, move!
And now she goes and extends the hand to grab me by the sleeve. I'm steaming and my ears fuming for that speech, and I saw the hand approaching me. I had it.
Don't even try to touch me, you piece of crap.
I said that, stepping back to prevent her from grabbing the sleeve.
You're so messed up if you think I'm letting you push me around. I'm not your husband, so keep your hands to yourself.
Then I lowered my arms and gathered half of the hoops in each hand and said,
Try again, and I'll make you eat this bamboo hoop like the panda bear you are.
Seeing that she shut up for a moment, I continued my rant.
I tried to tell you in a polite way, I don't work here.
But it seems that when you open your mouth, you close your ears like a seal.
And it should be that way because you look like one. Now scram before I break everything I can reach in your head.
She took 2 steps back. I think she always made things go her way, and I just crushed her dreams. All of a sudden, 2 crocodile tears appeared in her eyes, and while sobbing, she started looking left and right for an employee, and told me in a low but menacing tone,
You work here, and you're not getting away with this. I'm not stopping till I get your job, and make sure you don't get hired again. Anywhere.
"Oh, so that's how powerful you are. Please stop and get lost, you clown. If you were that powerful, you shouldn't even be here. You're just a pain in the neck with a heartbeat and a huge entitlement problem. Get out of my sight." Finally, one of the 2 employees appeared. Too late. "Excuse me, what seems to be the problem?"
Are you the manager? I need this employee of yours to be fired.
Me and the girl looked at each other, and I understood. Aside from the green apron with the name of the store embroidered in it, I could be easily mistaken. If it wasn't for the small logo of my company over the pocket and on the right sleeve. I'm sorry, lady. I know it's confusing, but he doesn't work here.
So that's how you want to play? I said the first time and I'll repeat. Are you the manager? If not, where is he? I'm not moving till this employee gets what's coming to him.
Employee says, Lady, I know it looks like he's one of us, but he wears no apron, and please look at the logo on his shirt. Karen tries to get closer to me, trying to read, but I cover in part of the logo with the hoops while keeping distance just to trigger her. Karen tells me,
Playing funny now? Let's see how long this will last. You're not getting away with this. You work here, and you'll swallow your pride in front of me.
Look who's talking. You think you own the moon. I'll be at the cashier, and please, looking at the employee, keep this lunatic away from me. I left Karen banting about me being a jerk. More menaces about getting my job, and telling the poor girl they need to look for better employees before picking up the first trash that comes rolling through the door. Finally, I left that store with my hoops and a headache. I really don't want to find that lady again. And congrats to our re-generals of the day, The Raven, Ghost RX, Theater Geek, and Jennifer. Become tomorrow's re-generals by dropping as many re's as you can in the comments below.